Good morning. My name is Ayush Gupta and I am here with the topic law and ethics. So, what is law? Law is a system of rules and regulation that are created and enforced by government institutions to practice a fair environment in a country. Although its prescribed definition is a matter of debate, these laws are commonly controlled by controlling authority of a country. There are various types of laws. The first is public law. Public law majorly concerned with the relationship between the state and the citizen of a country, which directly is concerned with the society. The next is private law. Private law majorly concerned with the rights and duties of individual towards each other. These laws are also called civil law. The next is criminal law. Criminal law is a body of law that deals with crimes. It defines a criminal justice, wrongful action, and prohibiting those who were engaged in wrongful activity. The next is civil law. Civil law is a body of law that deals with private affairs and rights of individuals in a country. The next is common law. Common law are those laws that are unwritten by the court which should be followed by every individual in a country. The next is equity law. In law, equity refers to equality between every individual in a country. Next is business law. Business laws are those laws which are applied on every business in a country. These laws should be followed by every business in a country. The next is commercial law. It is also known as trade law, as these laws are applied on a individual engaged in trade, sales, or commerce. Thank you. Next, further will be continued by my partner.
My name is Rajman Tiwari and I am continuing my topic with commercial laws. My first point is Indian Contract 1872. It is implemented in 1872 on 1 September, which is passed by in English British and which is based on English common law, in which the promises made by the parties to work in that only guideline. My second point is the Sale of Good Act 1930, thus which is implemented on 1 July, and it is related to purchase and sale of goods which amend to section 1872 to 1930. My third point is Negotiable Act 1881, which is defined as the amend of the promissory note, bills of exchange, and checks. My fourth point is the Partnership Act 1932, which is implemented on 10 October 1932, in which before this act there is one negotiable is given in that provision is given in that book in chapter 11, in which the section 236 to 269 is given in Partnership Act 1932. My last point is Unlimited Library 2008. In this partnership, this act was enacted in 2008. The act states that the partner according to their investment. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Navdeep Singh. I am here to tell you about various type of industrial laws. Number one is Factories Act 1948. The Factories Act 1948 enacted to regulate the working condition in factories. The act is meant to provide protection to the workers from being exploited by the greedy business establishment, and it also provided for the improvement of working conditions with the factory premises. Next one is Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. The act came into effect from 16 September 1972, an act to provide for a scheme for payment of gratuity to employees engaged in factory, mines, oil field, plantation, ports, railways, companies, shops, or other establishment, and for matters connected therewith or incident. Next one is Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952. The Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 is a social welfare legislation to provide for the institution of Provident Fund, Pension Fund, and Deposit Linked Insurance Fund for employees working in factories and other establishments. Next one is Employees State Insurance Act 1948. The Employees State Insurance Act 1948 is the major legislation on social security for the employees in India. It is devised to provide social protection to employees in contingencies such as illness, long-term sickness, or any other health risk due to exposure to employment injury or occupational hazard. Fifth one is Payment on Bonus Act 1965. And the Payment of Bonus Act 1965 has been enacted to provide for payment of bonus to person employed in any industry to do any skilled or unskilled manual, supervisory, managerial, administrative, technical, or clerical work for hire or reward, and drawing salary not exceeding the prescribed amount. And the next one is Payment of Wages Act 1936. The Payment of Wages Act 1936 regulate the payment of wages to the certain classes of person employed in industry. It was enacted to ensure that the wage payable employees covered by the act are disbursed by the employees within the prescribed time limit.
My name is Yash Motwani, and today I am going to tell you about ethics. Ethics is a set of rules that define right and wrong conduct. It is a social science which deals with concepts such as rights and wrongs, moral and immoral behavior of dealing with one another. Ethics are set of concepts that guide human behavior. Ethics reflects beliefs such as what is right, what is wrong, uh, what is just and what is unjust, what is bad and what is good. They serve as a compass that how a human behavior should work. Now we'll talk about areas of ethics. The first area is meta-ethics. This focuses on areas of ethical terms itself and on questions on how ethical knowledge is obtained. Therefore concerned with nature of ethical properties, statements and judgments. Now we'll talk about normative ethics. These are study of ethical acts. It therefore focuses on questions like what is the right thing to do. Therefore, it is only concerned with finding the correct way of doing things. Now we'll talk about types of ethics. The first type is personal ethics. It is defined as a moral system in which an individual finds the correct way to do things. The ability to solve ethical dilemmas comes under personal ethics. Now comes social ethics. Social ethics are no less than individual ethics that an individual has to perform at a community level.